The moon was full, casting an eerie silver glow over the secluded Florida mansion. Everyone in the cartel van knew her name, Pam Bondi, a former prosecutor, TV commentator, and once Florida's attorney general. The woman who had helped take down cartels like theirs. Tonight, they were going to send a message. Or so they thought. Masked and armed, they stormed the gates at 3:07 a.m. But what they found wasn't the hardened, bulletproof queen of law enforcement they expected. They found her, alone, kneeling beside a hospital bed, in the middle of her living room. Earlier that day, Pam had signed her last court document for the week, thinking she'd finally get a moment to rest. But fate had other plans. Her older brother, Daniel, a decorated Marine who had returned from his final deployment a year ago, had taken a sudden turn for the worse. ALS was ruthless, and Daniel's fight was nearly over. Pam refused to leave his side. Hospice had been arranged at her home. She sat there that night, reading softly from a worn Bible, holding his hand as the machines beeped steadily in the background. She didn't hear the van. She didn't hear the boots. But she heard the gun cocking behind her. And that's when the story changed. "Hands up," a masked man shouted. Pam didn't flinch. Slowly, she turned her head, eyes puffy from crying. "I'm not armed," she said. "But please, don't frighten my brother." For a moment, silence. The intruders were caught off guard, not by her lack of resistance, but by what they saw. The famous woman they'd come to punish was broken, human, and kneeling at the side of a dying soldier. Is this a trap?" one of the younger men asked, lowering his gun slightly. "No," said the leader, Miguel. His voice cracked. He was staring at Daniel's pale, motionless body. A photo beside the bed caught his eye, Daniel in uniform, standing with children in war-torn villages, distributing food, books, smiles. He was military, Miguel asked. Pam nodded. He gave his life protecting others. Even when the war was over, he still gave. Miguel froze. He remembered a face from years ago, his little sister, Maria. She had been caught in the crossfire during a raid. She would have died if not for an American soldier who had lifted her into a chopper, shielding her with his own body. That soldier had been Daniel Bondi. He never knew the name, until now. "Leave," one of the cartel men urged. "This ain't what we came for." But Miguel wasn't done. He stepped forward, removed his mask. "I remember him," he said, voice low. "I never knew who he was until now, but he saved someone I loved more than my own life." Pam looked up, eyes wide with disbelief. "I'm sorry," Miguel said, kneeling beside her. "We didn't know." None of them did, but the shift was instant. The rage, the mission, the violence, they melted under the weight of something heavier, recognition. They'd come for revenge, but found a home wrapped in grief, not war. That night, the cartel men didn't just walk out, they carried out every weapon, every device they had brought, and dumped them into the lake behind the property. Pam didn't call the cops. She didn't ask for explanations. She just said, "Thank you for seeing him." Miguel turned back once before disappearing into the trees. "He changed my life once. I'll honor him by doing the same." Months later, across the border, a nonprofit opened up quietly in northern Mexico. Daniel's House, a refuge for at-risk kids, run by reformed men with haunted pasts. Among them was Miguel, now going by his full name for the first time. He wrote Pam every month. Each letter ended the same. "His kindness made us lay down our guns. I hope that means something." Epilogue. Pam Bondi stood alone at Daniel's grave the following spring. She tucked Miguel's latest letter into the flowers. "Even in death, you're still saving people," she whispered. As she turned away, a small boy ran up to her, Maria's son, carrying a soccer ball and a note. In broken English, he said, "Gracias for everything." Pam smiled through tears. Because some battles aren't won in courtrooms or with weapons. They're won in moments of humanity. Final message: we all carry pain, stories, and choices. But kindness, it echoes farther than we can imagine. Even in the darkest places, one selfless act can turn enemies into allies, and grief into hope.